6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister has directed to devise an action plan for safe and swift evacuation of Pakistanis wishing to return from Syria. Pakistan and Afghanistan have agreed to enhance mutually beneficial relations. The Finance Minister has called for empowering the private sector to take a lead in driving meaningful social impact. Tomorrow is the last day for submitting Hajj applications under the government scheme. 22 more Palestinians were martyred in Israeli attacks on Gaza today. The first T20 international of the three-match series between Pakistan and South Africa will be played in Durban tomorrow. And now the news in detail. The Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif has directed to devise an action plan for safe and swift evacuation of Pakistanis wishing to return from Syria through the neighbouring countries. Chairing a meeting in Islamabad today regarding the evacuation of Pakistanis in view of the current situation in Syria, he said steps should be taken for safe evacuation of Pakistanis from Syria. He said the safety of the life and property of Pakistanis residing in Syria is the top priority of the government and all resources should be utilized for the purpose. The Prime Minister also instructed the Pakistan Embassy in Damascus to establish an information desk and a helpline for contacting Pakistani citizens. He directed that Crisis Management Unit of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and information desks in Pakistani embassies in Syria and its neighbouring countries should remain functional round the clock until the security situation improves. The Afghan Shahzad Sardar Ahmad Shakib called on the Deputy Prime Minister Mohammad Dar in Islamabad today. They discussed deep-rooted ties between Pakistan and Afghanistan and agreed to strengthen mutually beneficial relations. The Special Representative for Afghanistan, Ambassador Mohammad Sadiq, was also present on the occasion. The candidate of Egypt for the office of the Director General UNESCO, Dr. Khalid Al-Enani, called on the Deputy Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister Mohammad Dar in Islamabad today. During the meeting, they reaffirmed the historic brotherly ties between Pakistan and Egypt and strong commitment to strengthening these relations. Dar and Dr. Al-Enani discussed the importance of cultural exchanges and cooperation in multilateral platforms, including UNESCO. The Finance Minister Mohammad Aurangzeb has reiterated to support initiatives that foster inclusive growth, sustainable development and community welfare. Chairing a meeting of the Prime Minister's Committee on Social Impact Financing in Islamabad today, he also called for empowering the private sector to take the lead in driving meaningful social impact. The Finance Minister highlighted the government's role in establishing a robust policy and regulatory framework for social impact financing. He also emphasized that the private sector should lead implementation efforts. He said the private sector has already been doing an outstanding job in this domain and we must focus on creating an enabling environment rather than establishing yet another government institution. Mohammad Aurangzeb further stressed the importance of moving beyond charity to broader impact financing. He said digital solutions must be integrated to ensure efficient systems, while accountability and impact evaluation will build trust and credibility among the stakeholders. The session focused on advancing innovative financial solutions to drive social impact, enhance financial inclusion, and uplift marginalized communities in Pakistan. The participants shared insights on blended financing models, public-private partnerships, and fostering microfinance initiatives. Proposals were made to ensure a comprehensive regulatory framework that encourages private sector innovation and safeguards investments. Tomorrow is the last day for submitting Hajj applications under the government scheme. According to the Ministry of Religious Affairs, over 72,000 applications have so far been received. Applications can be submitted with an initial payment of 200,000 rupees, while the second installment of 400,000 rupees can be submitted within 10 days after the balloting. The remaining amount must be submitted until the 10th of February next year. This is Radio Pakistan giving you the news. An important meeting of ulama and mashayikh regarding registration and reforms of religious seminaries was held in Islamabad today. Addressing the meeting, the Minister for Education Khalid Maqbool Siddiqui clarified that the decision to register religious seminaries was made with consensus in 2019. He emphasized that the aim was not to control the religious seminaries, but rather to ensure that the entire country could benefit from them. He said the Ministry of Education would continue to extend support to religious seminaries. The Minister for Religious Affairs, Chaudhry Salik Hussain, said the government will continue its efforts for better future of students of religious seminaries. He emphasized that contemporary education for these students is also important. The Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Ataullah Tarar, said that benefits of registering religious seminaries with the Ministry of Education have begun yielding positive results. He mentioned that seminary students are now emerging in various fields, including science and information technology. He said the registration mechanism was evolved after extensive consultations with religious scholars of all schools of thought. He said the main aim was to bring the students of the seminaries into the national mainstream. The Information Minister said we will also listen to the suggestions of JUIF Chief Maulana Fazlur Rahman on the matter. He said it will be our endeavour to come up with a solution that is acceptable to all. The National Assembly will meet at the Parliament House in Islamabad tomorrow at 5 in the evening. The session of the Senate will be held at the Parliament House in Islamabad on Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. Besides legislative business, both the houses will take up matters of national and international importance. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference has called on the international community to play its role for the resolution of the Kashmir dispute in accordance with the United Nations resolutions and the aspirations of the Kashmiri people. In a statement in Srinagar today, the APHC spokesman strongly condemned the escalating human rights abuses and arbitrary arrests by the Indian forces in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. 22 more Palestinians were martyred in Israeli attacks in different parts of Gaza today. Israel's aggression on Gaza has left over 44,700 Palestinians martyred since October last year. And now cricket, the first T20 international of the three-match series between Pakistan and South Africa will be played at Durban tomorrow. The match will begin at 9 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. The two teams will also play 3 one-day internationals and 2 test matches. And finally, the weather report. Mainly cold and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country, while very cold conditions are likely in the hilly areas during the next 12 hours. Frost in patches is also expected in the plain areas of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Upper Punjab during morning hours. Shallow fog is expected at a few places in South Punjab and Upper Sindh during morning and night hours. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.